find your own voice late from within. So with me today, guys, I'm on my own, and if it is your first time meeting Gossip Talk shows, we help our audience find their own voice lead from within. Finding your own voice, it could be in relationship or business or your career, academic, anything that has to do with your life, you need to have a voice. So the topic is today, stop asking why they changed, ask why you stayed. Sometimes the most painful question isn't why did they change? Because people change for many reasons. They change because of pressure, immaturity or unhealed wounds, temptations, ego, fear, or simply because they were never who they pretended to be. But the intuition kept warning you, but my hope defending you. So this message is not about blaming yourself or blaming anyone. It's about getting your power back. Because understanding, because the moment you stop obsessing over their transformation and start understanding your attachment, your tolerance, your patterns, your wounds, and your need, you stop repeating the same story in a different relationship. So this is your turning point, not just to leave, but to heal. What made staying feel normal? So the next chapter isn't survival, it's alignment. Name the real question. When you ask, what did they change? You hand your power to them. That question keeps you stuck in their mind. Their motives, their excuses, the real freedom begins when you ask, what made me keep choosing this? Because you can't control why someone changed, but you can understand why you stayed. And that's where your healing lives. Not blaming yourself, not blaming the other person. So separate love from attachment. Love is steady, respectful, and safe. Attachment can feel like fear, anxiety, and obsession. Like you need them to be okay. Many people confuse intensity with love. This person is lame. If I feel like I'm drowning without them, that's not love. That's dependence of fear. When you separate the two, you stop calling pain passion. Admit that you are tolerant. This is not about self-blame. It's about honesty. If you don't name what you accept, you might accept it again. Write it clearly. Disrespect lies in consistency, emotional neglect, manipulation, cheating, silence treatment, yelling, financial control. The list goes on. What you can name, you can heal. What you can keep minimizing, you can keep repeating. So identify the first red flags you dismissed. Most people don't suddenly wake up in a harmful relationship. It builds slowly. There was usually a first moment you felt unease, but you talked yourself out of it. This helps you build your intuition by asking, when did I first feel something was off? That moment is important because it shows you were not crazy. You were aware. Notice how long you live in maybe. Maybe they'll change. Maybe it's just stress. Maybe I am the problem. Living in maybe creates emotional paralysis. Paralysis. Your life pause while you wait for someone to become consistent. This step is realizing uncertainty is not home. If you have to constantly guess where you stand, that itself is an answer. You don't have to guess where you stand. Ask what you were trying to prove. Sometimes staying is not about love. People don't stay sometimes because of love. It's about a hidden mission. You might have been trying to prove you are enough. Do you have to prove that you are enough in your relationship? So let me share the video, guys. Do you have to prove that you are enough in a relationship? So I'm not sure. Maybe to prove to the relationship that you are loyal. Prove you're worthy. Prove you won't give up like others did. This step is asking, was I fighting for love or fighting for validation? Because you don't need to end what really love gives freely. Love gives freely. You don't have to audition for love. You don't have to fight for love. Love has to come natural. It has to be naturally, it has to align natural. Okay, what was happened here? Sorry, guys, the link has not worked. So I need to go to Nkosi Shows, go to my page. Let me find the video. Okay. My sharing to the groups, Facebook groups. Is it working? It's working. It's working here. Okay, so of course the talk shows. Just be with me, guys. I'm trying to change. Okay. So you don't have to, I'm trying to share this. It's very annoying. Understand the fantasy bond. A fantasy bond is when you stay attached to who they could be, not to who they consistently are. You remember the sweet moments and use them as evidence of the future. But reality is behavior patterns. This step teaches potential is not commitment. Words are not character. You have to love what is real, not what is possible. Learn trauma bonding signs. Trauma bonding signs is when pain and comfort comes from the same person. They hate you, then they soothe you. That cycle creates addiction. You may feel unable to leave, even when you know it's wrong. So this step is understanding I may not be weak. I may be chemically and emotionally conditioned by a cycle. Awareness break the spell. Recognize the intimate reinforcement. This is when someone gives you random, not consistently, one day they rekind, the next day they are cold. That randoms make you chase them harder. And also it plays with your mindset as well. Because when you am I live here, guys? I can't see my live on my what's happened? I can't see the live on my thing. What's happened? Okay, let me go to Ngosi. It says I am live, but I don't see myself live on my personal page. So, okay, if I am live, that's okay. So one day they recount, the next day they're cold, and that randomness, it makes you chase them harder, like a gambler, pulling a lever, hoping for a reward. So these steps, it helps you to see I wasn't staying because it was good. I was staying because occasionally it felt good. Occasionally, love is not love. So you have to be able to recognize, guys, when love is not what is meant to be. Track yourself abandonment moments. Some people, they are scared to leave a relationship that is not going well because they are scared to be judged by people. So you don't have to be scared. You don't have to fear. Um, you don't have to compare your life with anyone. People do things not because it makes them happy, because they want it to look good for when they are with friends and stuff. So self-abandonment is when you betray your own needs to keep the relationship. Example, swallowing your feelings, accepting disrespect, staying silent to avoid conflict, forgiving too quickly, lowering standards, begging for basics. So this step is about you recognizing every time I ignore myself. I trained them how to treat me. Now they train you, then retrain yourself to choose you. So that is important. See how childhood patterns show up. We often repeat what we learned. If you grow up with inconsistent love, emotional neglect, or having to earn affection, you may unconsciously seek familiar dynamics. So these steps ask, does this relationship feel familiar because it's health or because it matches my old wounds? So healing begins when familiarity stops being your compass. Admit if you feared being alone. You shouldn't fear being alone as well, because you're never alone. That's why this God said, I'm going to my Father, but I'm not going to leave you alone. I'm going to leave. The Holy Spirit lives within you. God lives within you. You're never alone. So some people, they always say, I'm lonely, I'm this, because they don't know how to activate their powers within. There's a power within you, in your inner being, that you can activate for you to feel the love of God. Many people stay because of loneliness, they feel unbearable, not because the relationship is good. This step is brave, honest. Was I staying because I loved them or because I feared emptiness? When there is, sometimes you can live with someone and have emptiness in your heart. When you learn to emotionally safety with yourself, you stop treating relationship like a survivor. Like I say to you guys, you're never alone. I used to think that I'm alone, but when I realize actually I'm never ever alone, God is always there with me. Only if I want to activate the spirit of God, and enjoy the love of God. Because the love of God is what creates me, is what creates me. The moment I reject myself, that means I reject God. So ask what you believe you deserve. Your tolerance level is often connected to your self-worth. If you believe you deserve little, you accept little. This step is about uncovering the belief under the behavior. Do I believe I have to suffer to be loved? Do I believe I have to fight for someone? Do I believe that I have to audition for love? You're like, do I believe I have to? When you raise what you believe you deserve, your choices changes. Notice if you were addicted to fixing. Fixing can be trauma. Response, if I can help them heal, then I'll be sad. But you cannot counsel someone into maturity or love someone into accountability. So this step is learning I can support someone, but I cannot carry them. A partner should be responsible for their own growth. You cannot carry someone. I can tell you these guys, I've gone through trauma with Satan myself. Because I understood, I had to ask questions from the people who had gone through the similar experience. I had to ask them to teach me how to release myself from all these wounds. But no one would have had to fight the battles for me. So I had to fight battles for me by understanding who I'm becoming and what I wanted in that process. I wanted to survive. I wanted to live my life freely. I wanted to to walk in my own lane. I didn't want to die. So I had to be honest. I didn't want to be on depression, on medication, depression. I didn't want to be on that. And I've seen the work, the hand of God, how what God can do. I witness it myself. So that's why sometimes when people say to me, Nomsa, you can't do this, it does not make sense to me. It doesn't make sense. It does not make sense. When I'm doing something, because I have to consult the Holy Spirit, I got to speak to God first. So when I'm doing something and someone comes to criticize and say Nomsa or criticizing my hair, to me, it doesn't make sense because I'm not in that level spiritually and mindset. I'm not in that level where I worry about my hair. I comb my hair, I brush my hair, I look after, I get clothes and things like that. But I'm not to that level because I've been there before. I've been there where I spend 2 hours trying to look good. But after spending 2 hours, I look bad. I felt bad. So now I'm spending my time with God. I'm spending my time with my family. I'm spending my time. I'm actually spending my time developing myself, developing my family, praying for my family. So those are the things where I now know how to use my time wisely. I now know. And I know how to love myself. But some people don't value themselves. So if you are in a relationship, value yourself. Yourself matters. In order to look after your husband, you need to make sure you are okay. In order to look after your wife as a man, you need to make sure you as a human being, you are okay, because there is no way that you can look after another human being if you are not okay. So for me, those are my priorities. God is my number one. And then I look after myself. And I know that if God looks after me, I know my family, God will look after my family. And if I'm not happy in a relationship, I have to name the problem. I have to name it. If I don't name the problem, it means I'm going to not to solve problems. So I just want to name problem. I just like to name and see things as they are, not lie to myself. If a man is not good enough for me and that man does not love me, I don't find the excuse that is not good enough because of this. I tell myself that is not good enough. I tell myself, if someone mistreats me, I tell myself that this person is disrespecting me. There's no other word for me to use. Or if I'm disrespecting someone, because sometimes it can be the other way around. So I tell myself that, Nomsa, you got to apologize. Sometimes it could be the other way around. But the vows that I've made for myself is not to disrespect a man. Is to honor, not to disrespect. I don't disrespect. I know that I don't have authority to disrespect someone else's child. So stop romanticizing loyalty without safety. Loyalty is only beautiful when it's mutual and safe. Staying loyal to someone to harm you is not love, it's self-neglect. This step reframes loyalty as I will be loyal to my well-being, my dignity, and my peace. Loyalty should never ever require self-destruction. Identify your boundaries. That is important. Boundaries are what you do not protect your peace. If your boundaries were unclear, unspoken, unenforced, the relationship is likely drifted to disrespect. This step asks, where did I fail to protect myself? Do not shame you, but to strengthen you. It doesn't shame you. When you think like, where did I fail to protect myself? It's not, the thought is not for you to be feel ashamed. It's to strengthen you. Separate forgiveness from access. Forgiveness is spiritual and emotional release. Access is rational privilege. You can forgive. So that is important. Really, really, really important. To learn to forgive, live your life how you're meant to live, and don't think less about yourself, because sometimes we tend to judge ourselves a lot. So I said identify your boundaries. Then the next one is identify, like, separate forgiveness from access. Forgiveness is spiritual, emotional release. Access is release privilege. You can forgive someone and still decide they are unsafe for your life. So this step teaches you my forgiveness does not reopen my door. Trust must be rebuilt with consistent action. Understand the cost of staying with someone that does not respect you. This step is a reality check. Staying costs something. It will cost your confidence, health, sleeping, friendship, joy, creativity, faith, self-esteem. Write your list. When you see the price, clearly you stop negotiating with your future. Observe how you shrunk. Many people become smaller in an unhealthy relationship. You stop laughing, stop speaking, stop dreaming, stop dressing up, stop creating, stop socializing. This step asked, who was I before this? That version of you is not gone. She's waiting. Check your need for closure. Some people stay because they want answers. But many harmful people never give honest closure. This step is learning closure is not conversation. It's a decision. You stop expecting accountability from someone committed to avoid it. Accept that change behavior is information. When someone becomes cruel, inconsistent, secretive, or disrespectful, that change is information. The step is saying, I will not explain away evidence. I will not argue with patterns. I will accept what is their behavior reveals right now. Stop negotiating your growth. When you back, you respect. Negotiating your humility. So this step is learning. If must convince you to treat me, if I must convince you to treat me well, I'm already in the wrong place. Love should not require persuasion for basic care. I always say to people, loving, being kind, accepting people for who they are, not trying to change anyone. Those are basic needs for a human being. If someone fails those basic needs for a human being, like myself, I went through human blood sacrifice. I watch people calling me names. Like when I was graduating, you saw, guys, what I was going through. I watch people disrespecting my life. But it was in those moments where I didn't lie to myself. I had to tell myself the truth to say, this is what I'm going through. And what can I do to change that? What can I do to change that? So I had to put me first. I had to value me. I had to value my life. I had to understand where God is taking me from and where God is taking me. That's where I had to understand. I had to be honest. And every single day in my life, it was a smile. That smile was real. It wasn't fake. I had to learn to be me. I had to learn to celebrate me. I had to learn to celebrate the life that God has given me. Most of the time, guys, we enter relationship and we start looking at things that what could be. But God is showing us that this is not right. This is not a good relationship. But we want that relationship to be right. Sometimes we can argue with God. The Christians can understand that sometimes we can argue with God when God says this relationship is not meant to be. But then we can, because we want that person, we imagine that one day they'll wake up, there'll be a magic wand and they will change. People only change, guys, when God says, I want them to change. Or they want to change when they take action, they do something about their lives. That's how people change. Otherwise, people, like, now notice how they respond to your pain. A safe person becomes concerned, seeks understanding and repair. An unsafe person dismisses you, blames you, mocks you, punishes you for feeling. This step is powerful because it shows character. How someone responded to your pain is who they are. I said to Satan, when Satan was like, I'm going to test the people around you and I'm going to make them to make your life a living hell. So I said to him, you're not going to test them. Those who are making my life a living hell, it means that's who they are, because you don't know people's character until their authenticity, their character, their true character is provoked. That's when you see this is the person. For me, I had to watch Satan provoking the true identity of the people that I thought. Even in my family, some people were nasty. They were like, you talk about sacrifice. Who would want to sacrifice you? What do you have that someone will want to sacrifice you? But nobody, what people don't, the ignorance of people, what they don't know is who they are. But Satan knows the day that I'm going to die. He knows the day that I'm going to succeed. He knows everything that God knows. Satan knows it. And Satan knew who I was. He knew who I was. Satan knew who I was. And he went and provoked a member of my family to say, if you do this, your children will be great. But what this person did not realize that if Nomsa, she's my blood, and she has great future, she's talented, it means my children are talented. So no, Satan, I don't need to kill Nomsa. So I share this with you guys because we think we are not, we think we are not great. We fear that if I make a decision and leave this relationship, how am I going to survive? Guys, the suffering season is allowed. The disappointment season is allowed. The rejection season is allowed. So it is in those moments when a man or a woman treats you badly, when you stand in truth and say, I am not going to allow this man treat me the way they're treating me. I'm not going to allow this woman mistreat me. I am going to take a stand and leave. I'm going to take a stand and leave. I'm not talking about these people, this generation of my generation, where they leave a relationship because they want to try something else. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about those people who have problem. Their generation nowadays, they're like when they're getting 90% in a relationship or 80%, they think that if they leave, they will get 100%. There is no such thing. That 20% that is missing in a relationship, you have to work. It means in order for you to feel 100% in a relationship, that 20% requires you to work, to love yourself, to be fulfilled, because no woman or man can fulfill you. So it's important, guys, when you feel that the relationship is not enough, and just leave. Ask if you stayed because potential. Mostly God can confirm if the relationship is not good for you. It's not a relation, because some relationship can hinder your destiny. So this step says, I will not stop dating who someone could become and start chasing what they are showing me now. If the relationship depends on future vision is unstable, face the fear of starting over. Starting over triggers fear. What if I don't find love again? By staying triggers slow down inside. This step refrains. Starting over isn't failure, it's courage. You are not behind, you are being directed. So grieve properly. You are not grieving the person. You are grieving the dream. What you hoped, when those hopes you feel that they've been stripped away. So you have to now grieve properly. Plan the future you imagine. If you don't grieve, you will keep returning to relief. So this step teaches, let the tears do their job so you don't turn pain into a cycle. Repair your self-trust. Self-trust rebuild by keeping small promises to yourself. If you say, I won't text you, and I won't don't, and you don't. I won't text her, and that's the trust, self-trust. This step is about proving to yourself, I can protect me. It changes everything, guys, when you protect yourself. So build the emotionally sobriety. If chaos feels normal, calm feels boring, this step is teaching you to detox from drama and choose stability. Health routines, prayer, meditations, supportive friends, boundaries, sleep, movement. Peace is practice, not personality. So redefine love as peace. Love is not anxiety. Love is not confusion. Love is not fear. This step is making a new definition. Love feels safe, honest, and consistent. If you have not suffered to stay, it's not love. It's a wound. If you have to suffer to love someone, now you don't. Practicing saying the hard sentence, I can love you and still live. This sentence fills you from the belief that love means staying. And it also teaches you love can be an act of love. Love you for yourself, love for truth, love for your future. Create a new standards list. Write what you require honest. Respect emotional availability, accountability, kindness, communications. Spiritually alignment, consistency. This step is not being too much. It's being clear. Standards are bridge between healing and healthy love. Learn to detect manipulation. Manipulation can look like guilty. After I've done gaslighting, you are too sensitive. Love bombing, intense affection when withdrawal, silence treatment, shifting blame, playing victim. This step helps you to stop being controlled through emotion. Clarity moves the hawks. So chemistry can be instant and dangerous. Alignment is slower and safe. Share values, compatibility goals. Mutual goals, this step teaches chemistry, pulls you in. Alignment, it keeps you safe. Choose who matches your future. Forgive yourself for staying. You stayed because you hoped, because you loved, because you were trying, because you didn't know yet. This removes shame. You don't heal by attacking yourself. You heal by understanding yourself. Turn your lessons into leadership. Your experiences become wisdom. Your healing guides, whether for your children, your friends, your audience, your future relations, you become stronger and clear. This step is the final transformation. The pain did not win. It trained you. So you just have to believe in yourself. You have to believe. For me, people always say, Nomsa, why do people call me, I know you guys call me crazy for loving God. I know that because the spirits, they do tell me that they call you this, they call you that. But I'm going to tell you guys, I love God because of where he's pulled me through. And that's why for me, a human being will never come first in my life. God will always come first. Because if God comes first, he'll be able to guide me through who is supposed to be in my life. So, yeah, that's what a relationship is about. So relationship is about you being aware and being able to be honest. When the relationship is not going the way you want, people get obsessed with marriage. They get obsessed with the children. I want to have children even if the relationship is not right. So all you can do is honest. And I was never like this before, guys. But I had to learn to be honest with myself. And I had to learn, the hard way to believe in me and believe in God. May God bless you guys. If you're watching from YouTube, please do subscribe, be part of the family. If you're watching from Nkosi Talk Shows, Unique Billionaire Mindset, please guys do join the group. When you join Billionaire Mindset, join Nkosi Talk Shows group, be part of Nomsa's family both. And please do follow me on my personal page. My personal page is where chaos goes on. Dancing, I call it chaos. When you want words of encouragement, you find them on my personal page. So that's where everything goes. So follow me on my social media handles, guys. And may God bless you. May he keep you safe. May you live with grace. I shall see you on Monday. I do pop in over the weekend, but weekend I'm on TikTok. So I'm going to be hanging out with my TikTok people. May God bless you. May he keep you safe.